when we managed to get the Convention on Biological Diversity through at the Earth Summit in '92, and we managed to get a biosafety protocol commitment under Article 19.3 of that convention, President Bush Sr. walked out and said, "I will not let my biotech industry be regulated." And the instrument for deregulation was a scientific lie called substantial equivalence. We will pretend GM foods are the same as organic foods and conventional foods. And therefore we will not look for safety, we will not allow regulation, and we will definitely not allow labeling. Substantial equivalence is a lie, because if the same company can claim that they've done something new and claim a patent, they can't deny that they've done something new when it's an issue of responsibility to citizens to let them know what's in that food. Whether they're antibiotic resistance markers, Bt toxin genes, viral promoters, we need to know. We have a right to know. Then another lie is it doesn't matter how food was produced. You should look at product and not at process. But we in the organic movement know it makes a difference how food is produced. That's why we have process labeling. And organic labels are there. But we also need to know what's not organic. And the moment food is genetically modified, it's not organic. The onus just can't be on the organic movement. It must be on the polluters, contaminators, and toxic drug pushers in our food system. When Europe introduced its labeling laws, the US Trade Secretary threatened. Cases were taken to the World Trade Organization. The European rules were called arbitrary, politicized, and scientifically unjustified. It's actually the denial of labeling that's arbitrary, because how can you deny labeling to genetic modification when you insist on labeling on how much calcium and sugar is in your food?
Right.
If nutrition is a mandatory labeling, genetic modification must be mandatory labeling too. In any case, the threats the US has put against all our countries, I sued our government to ensure labeling. Our government, on the order of our Supreme Court, wrote a labeling law. The US Embassy put pressure and said, you can't do this, otherwise we'll introduce a trade war. They can't do that anymore, because on the 5th of July this year, 2011, the highest body for food safety, called Codex, which is the WTO recognized body, has said genetic modified foods labeling is fine, every country can do it, and no one can threaten them. So not only will labeling here give American citizens real freedom, it will also protect the rest of the world, and the rest of the world that is trying to shape its food democracy. We are at a very important historic moment, and that's why, in spite of my illness, I've traveled all this way.
Thank you.
We are at a historic moment because the fraud of genetic engineering is known by more and more people now. We've just released a report. You can get it from the Navdanya International website. It's called "The GMO Emperor Has No Clothes."